Um, I was just like sitting in bed, and I'm kind of mad at myself. It's late. Been trying to fix my sleeping schedule for a minute now. Well, I mean, it's I've been doing good, so just a small little relapse, I guess. But in bed, I like was just chilling, right, scrolling, and basically, I mean, I've had okay. I'll start with who am I, right? Like, I mean, it's hard to define it in a concise manner. Like, if I told you to give me a 30-second elevator pitch on who you are, you might say, like, a bunch of brand, like, oh, my blah, 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 my name is this. I mean, does your name really define who you are? I mean, for some people, maybe. And I'm sure it has an impact on everyone's lives. I mean, I wouldn't be the person I am today if my name wasn't Malik. But like they might say like stuff like, "Oh, my favorite show is XYZ and I have a dog. I'm an only child. My name is this or this." These things are all not true for me. But for in 30 seconds they might be all you can think of to sum up who you are and what defines you, right? I mean, I think it's clear that that doesn't really um that's not actually the answer. Like that's not who any of us are, right? Like you're not defined by like the things that you like. You're not defined by you're not defined by um or you shouldn't be defined by those things. Like if you find a person that, you know, their whole it seems like their whole identity is based off of kind of external stuff, if that makes sense. That person might just be an NPC. But okay, what's the answer then? Like who are we? What defines who we are? And what defines who I am? I think it might be like a little bit cliche to say, but okay, I'll tell a little story. So a little bit about me. Um, as you all can tell, I'm an esteemed athlete. Not really, but I played soccer way back when. From like 5 years old to like 11, 10 or 11, and I had this coach, this amazing coach. His name was Coach Mike, and I mean, it's not that serious. Like we're like 10 years old, kicking a ball around. Like we're not that good, but I played for my town's like travel team. So we would travel to matches and kick the ball around, learn a couple plays, do some conditioning, run around and stuff. And just to like give some perspective, like this guy, like he like was took it super serious, and I like, and he really like taught our team how to act, like how to be like men, like or try to teach that. This one practice we like I live like really close to the field that we're practicing at, so I bike over. I get there, he tells us all to line up. I'm like, and the tone is not promising. He's like, everyone line up on the line, and he gives us this speech about how somebody basically like I don't even know, someone did some dumb stuff in school, got yelled at, and the teacher contacted him because like they know that the person that acted up in class like played soccer, and and it ended up with us like sprinting or just doing suicides for like a good like hour and a half. I mean, one of the like one of our players was like had asthma and was like having an asthma attack, and he was like, "Let's go, like we're doing this shit." One person doesn't act up right. You all, it's a team. Like you all gotta. burden the punishment. And mind you, I didn't even go to school with these people. Like I went to like a magnet school and I was playing for my town's team. And sure, like maybe it's a little bit overzealous. Like maybe we're taking it too serious. But I mean, what's not to like about taking something serious? So I think it's just a testament to how serious this coach took it, and I really respect this coach, right? And I'll tell you why. So shocker, but I wasn't actually that good at like sports. You know, during those sprints, I was feeling it. I felt like I was gonna throw up. And what happened was the season ended. We had a new season coming up. We had tryouts, and I didn't make the team. Right now, I feel like that's maybe it's not a universal experience, but I mean, I think it's an experience that everyone can imagine happening. You know, I love soccer. I like soccer a lot back then. I loved it. You know, favorite player Messi, obviously Messi over Ronaldo, and it's something I cared about. Right, it's like it's part of my personality. It's part of who I am. Was I played soccer and I kicked the ball around. You know, and I played goalie because I was fat and I was terrible, but I liked playing goalie. Like I had fun. I thought I was decent. I thought I was okay. But I didn't make the team. I didn't make the cut, and that was like devastating for me, right? Like I cried over that. It was, I mean, it was warranted. Like obviously, I didn't make the team. You don't make the team, you don't play. You don't. That's it. And I can remember this vividly. It was my coach told me, or my former coach, right? Because I'm not his player anymore. Told me to come to the field, right? It was a day that practice got canceled, and practice got canceled because it was like raining. So I bike over to this field, and it's it hadn't started raining super hard yet, but it's gonna get start pouring. So there's a slight little drizzle on this field. It on top of everything else, I know I got cut from the team, and it's raining, and I have to bike back, and I'm kind of wet. I'm already tired because I'm like getting winded from the bike ride. I just feel like shit, right? It's like the person I am at that moment was like a kind of pissed off and sad kid, right? Mind you, I'm like 10 years old. And he just, he was like very, he talked to me. He was very, level headed. He was like, look, man, stuff happens. I remember he told me, he said, Michael Jordan got cut from the high school basketball team. Like, he's like, I don't know. That's the only thing I really remember from that speech. But what I do remember, not the words, and maybe not, I can see it in my head, him talking to me, but I don't remember what it smelled like or, what it felt like besides me being wet because it was drizzling. But what I do remember was how it made me feel, right? Like I remember how I felt better, right? I felt more empowered. I felt I mean shit. Michael Jordan, you know, he's a good basketball player. Maybe I could be a good soccer player. And I mean, sadly, that didn't actually pan out. But it's not my definitely not my coach's fault. It's because I went to different schools. It got really hard to do the practices, and like it it just fizzled out, and that's fine, right? But all that to say is this person, this coach, right, Coach Mike, to me, right, who he is to me is a stand up citizen, and absolutely, he's partly what I envision of like a man, like as in the sense of a person that is, has good morals, stands up, and sticks up for people. I remember I did this thing where I was like petitioning the school board, and this is like in high school as like a junior in high school, and it's like years later. It's like almost 5 years since I played on a soccer team for him, and he shows up to this like town hall meeting and is like supports me, and I'm like, this guy's like a stand-up person, right? Like, to me, that's who he is. And all of that is not to say that he's not, but my perception of him is solely based off of my experience, right? Like, who he is to me is different than who he is to other people, right? Like, obviously, I can know other people's experiences with him, and I'm not, well, okay, sounds like I'm about to say he did something crazy. He didn't. He's a good person, but he's like divorced and has a little has a bit of like the divorced dad like archetype of being a person, like shitty home gym in his basement and like stuff like that, which is to each their own. But maybe like I always like that analogy. Like if there's a TV show or something, like if there's like a TV show of my town, maybe he wouldn't be like the Superman of the show. Like he might have been like the divorced dad that maybe didn't have everything going his way. But I mean, to me, back when I'm like 10, and now even now I'm like about to turn 18 in a few months, he's still a stand-up person, right? So that's like a long-winded way of saying what defines who we are is not what we like, not even necessarily what we do, but it's the impression that we leave on other people, right? And fundamentally, with that definition of who we are as being merely just impressions on other people, is that through the pathway of our lives, we like leave behind many practically like limitless versions of ourselves, right? I mean, I the person I portray on this YouTube channel is like, I hope that I'm a little bit funny. I hope that um I hope that people will get the impression that I'm at least aware of my life, and I'm um, a thoughtful person, um, smart maybe. That's like the person that's like the who I am with this kind of side of me, right? But then you look at, like, I have another YouTube channel, uh, Malik underscore Hui. Sub up if you're not subbed. Oh, if you're not subbed up on that channel, then what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? But on that channel, I mean, I'm like a dickhead, right? Like I'm just an idiot that just like does shit that I think is funny. I think I posted like a BP edit on it, and like I just do shit that makes me fun, makes me laugh, and try to make other people laugh. Um, right? So like that version of me, like if that's your only impression of who I am, you just think I'm like an idiot that is like posting just like random shit, right? Like that's the impression I give off, and that's me, right? Like that they're all versions of myself, and they're all valid kind of versions, right? They're all me. It's all Malik, right? And the reason this kind of this like idea, not this idea. I mean, I've I think I've made a video before talking about this, like this exact idea, um, about how we're all like we're nobody knows who you are, right? Like I said, like you can look at it from the other way. If you look at, I can think of my brother, right? To me, he's my brother, right? But to his like girlfriend or something, he's the boyfriend. He's not a brother, right? So he's like a different person, right? And the only person who truly knows who he is himself, because he knows who he has been with all these other people. He knows what impressions he's left behind. s- I'm just remembering why um the video I did like months ago. I was talking about college applications and how I I didn't know who to ask for help because everyone that I knew to ask for help, I had an I already I had a guess at what they would tell me to write about or what they would tell me to say is because I know what they know about me, right? And I know that what they know is not the full story. So I don't know. I think that's just something to be cognizant about. Like sometimes people's opinions about you are just going to be misinformed because they don't know every aspect about you. They don't know every impression you've left behind. Like I mean, for me personally, like a little bit about me, there were way back in the day, literally kindergarten, right? We do these like walking field trips. So like I went to a magnet school for elementary school as well, and we were like in a little city, and there's like some like every so often we'd walk like go on a little walking field trip to like a park or playground or whatever because our school is like small, so like we didn't get a lot of like running around on fields and stuff, and I think they like thought that'd be good for us. So on one of these walking field trips, man, I feel this is sad. I It's like, my best friend, I want to walk with my best friend, right? So like, you have to like hold your hand of like your buddy. And I'm like, I'm holding the hand of some girl, like some random like person that I'm not friends with. And I'm like, well, fuck this. I want to be with my friend. So I was like, yo, like, could we switch partners? Because like my friend was like right behind me or something. I was like, I want to like walk with my friend. I don't really want to walk with you. And she was like, no. And that may or may not have pissed me off. And I did. I basically told her that I would kill her if she didn't hold my hand or let me hold my friend's hand as we walked. And that did get me into trouble. I did get yelled at. Um, yeah, that one didn't really end well for me. And then the next year, that girl left, and then I asked the teacher if she left because she got bullied, and she was like maybe, and I was like dang. And I don't even that girl. I hope that she doesn't like remember me, and like I hope that she like moved away and like didn't actually leave to another school, and like her whole life was like low key, partially influenced by me just being a dick. But if that girl does remember me, I think her name was like Lydia or something. I'm sorry, Lydia. My fault, man. I actually am sorry because the 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 person I am in her mind, if she remembers me, this was like 10 plus years ago, is a crazy person that loves violence, right? And that's not the person I know I am, and that's not the person I want to like give off to the world. And I kind of regret that, right? And then on the flip side of that, I could to some people I might be like a nice, you know, person that doesn't threaten to kill them. Like I worked at a um, I worked as like a teacher's assistant at a summer school in a extremely underprivileged area, and some girl I basically had to like not babysit, but I basically turned into her like assistant when she was in the class because she like opened up to me about her like family's friend basically taking advantage of her, and I mean hopefully in her mind I'm like person that came in her time of need. Even though, do I think I'm like some guardian angel? No. Do I think I'm a sadistic violence thrilled by what's it called? A crazy person that like wants to kill people? No. Now, all that to say, like that's all in the past, right? Why was I thinking of this as it's now 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I'll be honest. I was in bed, I was scrolling, and I got really tired. I was like, fuck this. So then I hopped on Clash Royale to like cool down, like, Just was like scrolling for like a good 45 minutes. Now I'm like, I gotta slow the brain down. So I'm like, I'll hop on Clash. I'm gonna push up a couple steps on the trophy road or the steps because I already got 10K trophies. I'm like, I'm not really pushing for 15K. If you know, you know. I rage quit. I was like, fuck this, because I lost this like I lost to Royal Giant. Like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Shit pissed me off. So I was like, fuck that. And I put on okay, I have two audiobooks. One that I listen to for the content, so I don't listen to that to go to sleep, because if I fall asleep, I'm gonna miss out on stuff from the story, and then like I get lost. Stormlight Archive is very good. That's what I'm reading right now. It's really nice. I'm on book 3 right now out of 5, and it's like getting really good. But my like go-to white noise audiobook basically is Harry Potter, and so I put on Harry Potter, and I know like everything about Harry Potter. Not to be that guy, but like you can ask me any question about the books, like that, bro, instantaneously. Like I'm telling you, I'm like, if if knowing Harry Potter trivia was a job, I'd be like the CEO. Okay, I'm not exaggerating. So when I put it on though, it turns into white noise because I've heard it like so many times, like 30 plus times, I bet. Like I just go through this series. Like right now I'm on book 1. So I'm listening there. So I have basically white noise on. And I'm sitting there thinking about college because I'm getting hella college TikToks about do's and don'ts, what to bring freshman year, what parties do you go to? And I'm sitting there like getting nervous, and like I'm trying to think about why I'm getting nervous. Like, why am I scared of college? Why do I not want to go to college? Like, because that's like low key what I feel like. I'm not excited. They say that nervousness and excitement are very close emotions. I'm not feeling excitement. I'm feeling very nervous because, one, I don't like my wardrobe. I really hate. I don't have any clothes. And I feel stressed about that, like getting clothes and looking and like fitting in and whatnot. And then the bathroom situation. Oh my god. I mean, I'm also thinking about that. Like, I don't even like all. This is just like a little side rant, so skip forward like 30 seconds if you don't want to hear it. But like, bro, all these TikToks are like, get this thing for this, and like, but like, I don't know what the shower situation is, bro. I've never seen these showers, man. I don't, I don't know what to expect. So I'm like, I don't know how to prepare. It's like, I don't know if there is gonna be a space for my caddy. I don't know if there's gonna be like what kind of like shower sink situation we got going on. Like, I don't know. Anyways, it's fine. But like all this stuff's like stressing me out, and I'm thinking about it. And I was thinking, and what I thought of is, and what made me like feel I need to make this. Well, first of all, it's about this whole like concept of who are we, like who am I and who are we, right? Like that's very much in my brain about who we are, and I'm thinking of who I want to be. I think very few times in your life do you just get to choose who you are, right? Like, and especially choose who you are with a certain level of like consciousness. When you go into kindergarten, you're not conscious. Okay, I was 4 years old. Most people are like 5 years old. You can barely rub two freaking neurons together. Okay, you're not conscious enough to choose who you're gonna be. You don't choose like your clothes. Like your mom picks your clothes out. And you go to middle school, same deal, same thing. You're wrong. You're not conscious. You're a bot. You know nothing. You go to high school, maybe you have a little bit of idea of like who you want to be, but a lot of times you go to high school with a lot of the same people, right? So you're kind of stuck into this archetype of person that you just fell into, right? If you're like somewhat good at school, maybe you turn into kind of like a nerdy person, or maybe if you're like semi decent at sports, you're like a jock or whatever. And obviously, there's nuances to that. I think that's something I learned at like my Magnets High School, is that people that seem like jocks or whatever have everyone is nuanced. Just want to say that. But now I'm about to go to college, and sure, I'm going to my state school. So shout out Huskies. And there's gonna be a lot of people from my high school and people that I know from my area are going. Fair enough. But it's also it's a massive school. And so in the grand scheme of things, in like 2 weeks, not even, probably like 1.5 weeks. Damn. Okay, my heart's pounding a little bit. In that little amount of time, I am gonna have to meet a bunch of new people. I'm going to, have to sit down and start doing classes again, use my brain again, probably get a job. I'm gonna, have to go to a new gym. And I'm stressing about who am I going to be, right? Like, I can be myself, but do I even really know who I am? Like, I think that I'm having a little bit of like an existential moment here where it's like, who am I? Right? Like, cause I think it's not just necessarily who am I right now. The bigger question should be who do I want to be? Because, like I said, like this is I don't know when else you're gonna just get to go to a place where everyone's new. There's no expectations. It's your blank slate. People have no idea who you are, and you have enough consciousness to be able to say who you want to be, act a certain way, and be someone new. And like I said at the beginning, what defines who we are is the impressions we leave on other people, right? So what do I want to leave on what impression do I want to leave on other people? I think I want to be funny, and I want to be smart, and I want to be kind. Like that's pretty much it. Yeah. I think that's who I want to be, and now I have to figure out how am I going to do that? How am I going to fit in? And then how am I going to be like accepted? How am I all these things? And what I really don't want to happen, and I'm a little bit concerned about, is I don't want to fall into like a box of person. And I feel like that's something I'm very fortunate with throughout high school is honestly, you know, people say all sorts of shit about, oh my God, being a minority sucks. And, well, maybe not that, but they say it's like, like nobody at my school looks like me or whatever, or like there's no representation anywhere. Me personally, I have loved going to schools and being one of only a few Asian people, especially because, and also like in my town, I'm one of the few Asian people just in general because my town is white, just like my state. My state's white. I live in a conservative town. A lot of people are white. Like everyone's white, actually. And I like it because I'm not put into like a box, right? And all the schools I've gone to are predominantly white, and especially if not a lot of white people, there's like more Hispanics or African Americans, and there's very rarely there's a lot of Asians because I don't live in a very Asian heavy town. So I've benefited from not having to be put into this box, this like group of like Asians, because like certain things that maybe do define you, or at least influence how you act and like who you become and what kind of impression you leave on people, is your race and ethnicity. I'm white and Asian, Wasian, hence the channel name, overthinking Wasian. But I look Asian. I get it. But the thing is like I'm white at the same time. Like I haven't lived a fully authentic Asian life. I've lived a fully authentic white and Asian life, like combined, but not one. So I don't feel entirely at home in like a group of like Asians, especially like Chinese people, because I feel a little bit out of place. I'll just say that. So now I'm going to a place where there is a bigger, just proportionally, there's going to be a lot more Asian people. And especially like I'm going to like mechanical engineering. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I mean, well. I mean, only you could imagine what race is going to be an engineer. But, and so now I feel scared that I'm going to be forced into kind of a role that I don't want to be. Because, like I said before, that's never happened to me. Because I kind of got to define my role, if that makes sense. Like, not saying that people had never seen an Asian person before they met me, but I think that they hadn't, some people, or a lot of people, maybe, a lot of people just in like high school, like we all went to the same high school. Like, I know what your high school experience was, and I know how many Asian people there were, and it was pretty much me and one of my other friends who's not even Chinese, so it's like different kind of Asian. So I kind of got to define what that meant, right? Like, I didn't have to be placed into a box with other people that looked like me. And maybe I'm a little bit, maybe like I'm over concerned about that, or I'm like kind of like inflating that concern, or maybe it's like not really a thing. I mean, my minorities out there, let me know, because I feel like that's like a real thing. Like, I don't want to be placed into a box just because of the color of my skin. I mean, not to that extreme, but to some extent. So, I mean, but that's something I just can't control, like my race. I mean, it's fine. I just I want to make one thing clear. I'm very happy I'm Asian. I'm proud of my race. I'm just saying that I have to be cognizant that there are some differences in my path, and differences in my life, and differences in what makes up me, because I'm certain that the impressions that I've left on people have undoubtedly been influenced by the color of my skin, my ethnicity. Maybe not the color of my skin. I mean, I don't know. You guys let me know if I'm a POC. Like, is it tan enough? I just did enough melanin. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know. I just felt an overwhelming need to talk about my, I guess, my fear of, I, not only that, but I just know that I'm going to be different. Like, in 4 years from now, when I look at this video, maybe this is a good exercise. I'll spend like a minute just saying who I am right now. And when I say who I am, I mean who I believe. I'll say what I believe the impression I give off to people is, or my impression on other people is. And sure, I'll say some things that are important to me, because I think to some extent they do define us. Like, the type of music we listen to, sure, that influences. I'm sure that influences who we are, and how that version of us like influences people, if that makes sense. Like, I'm sure that all those factors influence the interactions we have with other people. But yeah, and also I shouldn't say like we are only defined by the impressions we leave on other people. I'm just saying that that's, to me, one of the if one of the most important things, if not the most important thing, when it comes to defining who we are. Okay, so who am I hope that I give off the impression of a kind person. I hope that I give off the impression of a or okay, let's say what I believe. I believe I give off the impression like of a nice, kind person, like a respectful person. Um, I I think I give off the impression of being somewhat well learned. Is that the right word? I don't know. Well learned. Is it well learned or well learned? I think well learned sounds right. Okay. I hope that I give off the impression of being humble, although I know that's a place I can work on. Like, I'm definitely not the most humble person. I mean, I hope I give off being funny. Like, I hope I leave that impression on people, that I'm at least like fun to be around. That's something important. I hope I am. What do I like? Or what's important to me right now? Right now I'm becoming more polarized, like politically, I think, which, I mean, I live in a blue house with a blue family. What can you do? I'm becoming Sorry about that. My PC just went to sleep. I think I don't know. I'm reading more fantasy. That's what I'm getting into. I'm watching new animes. Starting to get into that. But yeah, I mean, I know that in 4 years when I graduate college, I'm I'm gonna look back and be like, dude, now I'm watching an anime every day, like, or now I'm a Republican, or now I don't know, whatever. Like, I know that who I am is gonna change, right? And it can change for the good, for the better. I mean, I hope I change for the good, or change for the better. But who knows, man? Like, shit could happen, and I just don't know how things are gonna happen. I don't know um, who I'm gonna become, not only in 4 years, but just who I'm. I don't know. I don't know yet who I'm gonna be and what impressions I'm gonna leave on other people. I don't know who that. I don't know what version of Malik is gonna be present in, you know, a week and a half or whatever when I'm meeting new people. Like, I don't know. I'm a little bit scared that I'm gonna leave bad impressions, and then the person I am, or the person that's defined by those impressions is gonna be bad and not, well liked or whatever. Which, I don't know. I think that's a very like reasonable, and I I bet. I mean, I bet a lot that a lot. I would bet a lot that a lot of my peers are also feeling the same thing, even if they don't know it. But I think for me personally, I always feel better and like more calm when I articulate my stresses. So it's like whenever I'm stressed, I want to know why I'm stressed. So that way, like, you can't always solve your stress. Like, that's not something you can do. Just be like, I mean, if it's a little thing like, oh, I'm stressed out about, you know, my homework, you can do your homework and then you're not going to be stressed out about it. But sometimes you get stressed out about things like, I remember if you watched my last video, I had that like lunch or whatever with um, my orchestra peers and orchestra director. I was like stressing about that. And there's nothing I can really do, but I was stressing about it. And the reason I was because I was kind of nervous that like the conversation would be like really dull and like would be really awkward, and that like I'd be put on the spot. And then I articulated it. I knew that was my stress. And then I started thinking of reasonable reasons why I shouldn't be stressed about that. Like, there's other people there that like these are people you like. It's a free meal. Like, it's fine. And I got over it and I did it and it was fine, stress free. But even then, I still felt a little bit of stress. Like, walking into the restaurant to see them. Like, it is what it is. Stress is part of life. I think maybe not stress, but nervousness. And this nervousness about college and like being like not giving off the right Malik or whatever is completely warranted. I got to tell myself that it's completely valid, like totally fair. And I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing, because I don't know who I'm gonna be, and I guess, okay. The one thing I'm really stressed about is I kept on sitting in my bed and I kept on seeing this vision of myself because I saw a video about like, dude, you have to go to like the welcome week parties or whatever, and I was sitting there thinking like, I don't I don't want to like go to these parties alone. Like, I would feel so sad. Like, I could see this like vision of myself walking like in third person. I could see myself like I kept on envisioning myself walking, right, like I said, in like third person. So I'm just like seeing myself walking alone, like into a party or whatever, or like walking alone on the street. And like I genuinely felt so much sadness and like secondhand embarrassment for myself. And I was just like, fuck, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm already stressing about that. But what I should be stressing about is like getting shit for my dorm and like buying clothes and like getting an iPad or something. I don't know. I should be stressing about getting a job. But like I was just stressing about that. Like I don't like that'd be so sad. And I'm like, well, should I go to parties or should I stay in my dorm? And are people gonna like think I'm a loser if I'm sitting in my dorm, or are people gonna think I'm a loser if I'm walking into a party alone, or this or that, or like blah blah blah. And I think I'm overthinking it. Obviously, I mean, I just talked for like 40 minutes about who we are and who I am, but I think a couple things about this situation is that I know that, like I said, I'm going to a big school, right? I think there's like maybe like 30,000 or something like that, or 25,000 kids. That's like a lot of people. Still less than the amount of kids that have died in Gaza, by the way. I think that number is like in like 80,000 or something like that right now. I might be wrong. Fact check me on that. But like still, a very substantial amount of people are going to the school. So I know I'm kind of just going to be a person like drifting, not drifting, but I'm just going to be a person in a sea of people. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, everyone else is nothing but a drop in the ocean, just like myself. But I've been accustomed to going to smaller schools with smaller environments where everybody knows everybody knows who everyone else is, everybody has an impression of everyone else. And to be honest, I think that to some extent I like attention, and I like the feeling or the familiarity of everywhere I go, everyone knows who I am, right? Like that's I guess a nice feeling. It's comforting. It's like, you know, every time you walk into a room, you're gonna know almost everyone there. Like by the time sophomore year came around at my high school, except there were like some new sophomore transfers that came in sophomore year. Aside from that, everybody already knew everybody. Every time you walk into a room, you're like you like have like 3 or 4 friends in that room, right? It's very rare that that doesn't happen. And I know that I'm going to a big school where that's not the case, and that makes me a little bit nervous. And I also like I low key like attention, and I don't, and I think it would be bad. I think the only way you could have the attention of like your entire class going to a giant, like a big school, state school, is if you like were a dipshit and did something really dumb to get known by everyone. So I don't want that kind of attention. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know why that's a thing I'm thinking about, but I'm a little bit nervous about that too. Like being for the first time I'm like a small fish in a big pond, right? And it doesn't really matter who I am. Like that's just the reality, and I can't alter that at all. I can't choose to. I mean, it's too late to choose a different school. I don't know, dude. This is a long ass video, bro. I've just been yapping. I think this is partially me like talking about. I mean, it's quite like a philosophical concept, I guess, of like who are we and what what defines us. But I think it's simple. It's just they say like other people's opinions don't matter, but they do, right? Like I think an easy way to simplify it is that mm, the majority of who you are is defined by one, how people remember you, and the impact that people leave on you, right? Oh my god, bro, my computer's fucking. Blah. Anyways, just gotta keep on playing with my mouse to make sure it doesn't fucking thing. What was I saying? You're defined by not only what people think of you, but also the impact that you leave on other people. And my coach, you know, left an amazing impact on me, right? You know, he was always supportive, always like believed in me, and showed up even years later to support me on something that's completely unrelated to soccer, right? And so his impression or the impression I have of him and the legacy and the impact he's left on me is a very positive one, right? I see him in a very positive light. Even though for other people, maybe like his ex-wife, he doesn't have the best impact on, or maybe she doesn't have the best impression of him. And so I think that for me, I want to have generally really good impressions and impacts on other people. And I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that at like a big school, or if it's going to happen, or like, I don't know. I'm just stressing about it. I'm just stressing a lot about how I'm going to be. I'm just stressing about, I'm going in circles now. Like who am I going to be? I'm just going to be myself. But who is myself? Myself is, I'm an outspoken, hard worker, kind, and, articulate person. That's who I am, and that's who I'm gonna be. That's the person I'm gonna give to frickin' UConn and see what happens, right? Like, that's the mindset I should have, but I know that's the right answer. It's just be yourself within, like, well, not within reason. Like, obviously, I think people will, like, reinvent themselves, but I don't hate who I am, right, or anything like that. Like, I like the person I am, and low-key, I'm just scared that I'm just going to change, and I'm not going to like who I am at the end of 4 years, because I like who I am right now. Shit. Go me, I like myself. So, I don't know, man. Don't really have anything else to say. I'll say it one last time. Sorry, this has been a very long video. Like, comment, and subscribe, obviously. But we are not only defined by the things that we do, by the things that we like, the things that we love. That's not what defines who we are. We as people are defined, I think, by the average of all the impressions that we leave on other people. Not just by like a couple here and there, but on the whole, who or what impact do we leave on the people that we interact with? And for me personally, I want that average to be very good. I want that average to be a person that is kind, a person that, is nice, right? So I think lesson there is just to be mindful of how you interact with everyone, regardless of if they're, CEO or, a janitor. Treat everyone how you want, or treat everyone how man, this is very complicated with my language. How but you is defined by hold up, I'm not a philosopher, bro. I'm trying to be inspirational. Give me a second. Just treat everyone with the same. Try to give everyone the same impression of yourself, right? And don't let it sway a lot, or else you got a whole array of people out there, a whole array of freaking versions of yourself in the world. You should hope that you're giving off the pretty consistent version of yourself to most people. I don't know. Long ass vid, bro. This shit's like 50 minutes long, bro. If you made it to this point of the video, thank you. Because I don't think I've been captivating for 50 minutes. Damn, it's been 50 minutes, bro? That's fucking insane. That shit just blew by like that, bro. It's almost 3 in the morning. My sleeping schedule's like fucked, bro. Fuck, dude. I've been trying to... I don't know, man. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. Brutal. I don't know. Go subscribe to my other channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. Comment WAP if you made it to this point of the video. And my fucking god. Okay. We're back. Yeah, peace out, you know. Who are we and who am I and who are we? Oh shit. Wait, I pressed the wrong button. Hold up. Wait, who are we? And wait, who am I and who are we?